quintessential camping experience in Britain. Look at those skies. Hello everyone from the Lake District. It's just stopped raining actually. It's been on and off all day. So I'm sheltering in the gazebo at the moment. I'm gonna get another brew on the go. I hope you're all doing well. Just thought I'd check in and say hello. I read a post this morning, and I think it was Alice Walker, the writer. It was attributed to, and she said the most common way that people give up their power is by believing they don't have any. And I thought, it's so true, isn't it? That's it's kind of what we're seeing play out, isn't it? It's a whole power game, and it's what we're seeing is that the people who realise this and this great awakening that we're in the midst of, we've got those people that understand this to be true, and then we see the people that don't, who really genuinely do not believe they have any kind of power, and they are the ones that will fight to keep things in place, to defend the system that actually oppresses them, because that's where their feeling of safety comes from, and that's only because they don't believe they have any innate power in themselves. And I personally believe that nothing is actually ever going to change in a meaningful way on a truly great scale for humanity until that false belief shifts. Because all we will see, if people, we could take this system down, we could do it the hard way, we could really fight, and that could happen. But if that belief is within people still, that they do not have ultimate authority over their lives, over themselves, it's always going to be taken by somebody else. It has to be. It's the only way things can be. If people are not standing in their own innate power, in their sovereignty, answerable only to true law, natural law, then it will always be the case. And even if we have, very benevolent leaders and, seemingly compassionate and understanding, my battery's going, so if this cuts out, that's why. We could have all that in place, but it's still open to corruption. And I think that's what we've ultimately seen. The only time we've ever needed to have people in positions of power seemingly above ourselves organising things is because it's been lost within each individual, and that has been a deliberate thing. It's happened over more than centuries, thousands and thousands of years. As long as we've been here, there's been that kind of decline, and now we're kind of at the sticky end of things where it's an out and out battle. But the reason it is a battle in the first place is because there are so many of us waking up to it, really feeling that oppression and suppression, and it just goes against everything that we are as human beings, because we are not answerable to other beings who place themselves above us and dictate. So yeah, it just struck me this morning reading that, so I thought I'd just share that with you. I do believe until everybody realizes what they are, we talk about sovereignty a lot, don't we? But anytime we're in fear, acting out of fear, complying with things that we actually don't want to. I mean, even just the way that, you know, and I'm as guilty as anybody else, you know, we moan about just the society that we live in, but continue to go along with those rules that rankle. We're not actually being sovereign beings. I include myself in that. I've never held myself up as you know, a paragon of virtue, or somebody that's not struggling with all of this along with everyone else, but I can still see it very clearly that that's the issue, and that's where the feelings of fear come in, and that's where we can be coerced. We can find ourselves going along with and complying with the powers that should not be, as I call them, because we haven't embraced that. We haven't actually truly realized and experienced it. And the people that have, they walk a completely different path. It radiates from them, and they will not do anything that doesn't sit right with them. So yeah, until there are more of us who are in that realization, then we can, like I said, we can bring down this system, but another one will pop up in its place a little bit, not even very far down the road, because there's that desire to not actually have to take responsibility fully for ourselves, because that's what it means, doesn't it? If you are truly sovereign and truly standing in your power, everything is on you. And I think it's an unconscious thing that many of us would rather hand over that huge responsibility. You might moan about it, but we'd rather do that than actually be a fully embodied, fully realized human being. But the awakening is happening, so I think it's going in that direction anyway. But it's interesting to see it play out, and it's very interesting to watch within myself how it plays out. And when I hit those sticking points, and I think, oh, yeah, I can see where I've handed my power over completely for the sake of I wouldn't say a peaceful life, but we've been conned into believing it's a safer life. And yeah, that's kind of the big thing that's been pushed, is that we need to stay safe as these tiny, vulnerable, powerless little flesh suits running around. So yeah, when you get a broader perspective and realise there's we are way more than that, then it's not quite as easy to control us, because we're not living in that place of fear constantly, but it's definitely a process. So yeah, well, the rain seems to be holding off. Whoops. It's very beautiful here, and it's this is the campsite. I don't know if you can see the hills beyond the very moody skies. The others have gone out for a walk. I didn't really fancy it. Looking at the clouds, I get a bit miserable if I'm out walking and it starts piddling down. But yeah, it's a real tonic to be out in nature. Again, that's one of the things that they don't like us to do, really, is to really quieten down and connect with nature, because you can really start to get some clarity with things, and yeah, it can just kind of open your eyes. So yeah, lots of love to you all. Have a really great rest of the day, evening, night, wherever it is you are, and I will catch up with you soon. Lots of love. Peace.